life again to you wherever you are. My name is Noel, and like we said last week, every Wednesday we want to bring a very amazing conversation to you because we have discovered that life goes beyond just the daily toils, paying bills and getting stuck in traffic jam. We desire to empower each other that we may live a life first that glorifies the Lord and that impacts our generation. And therefore, I couldn't get any more excited this evening than to bring you another amazing edition of the Life at the Peak program. I believe your life will not remain the same again after this conversation, and we want you to share this program with somebody. As they say, sharing is caring. I want you to click that share button so that somebody somewhere can be part of this program. My guest tonight is an amazing woman of God. She is a wonderful mother. She is a wonderful servant in different fields. And I'm excited that she is here with us tonight. She will be sharing with us a number of things, and you'll be blessed as you follow her tonight. My guest tonight is none other than Mrs. Rachel Kipkrui. Many of you, like me, would like to call her Mama Rachel, and that's how we'll address her tonight. You're most welcome.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to host you.
Thank you very much.
And I am quite excited and humbled to be with you this evening.
I'm delighted to be here.
Yes.
And to speak to many of the people that are listening online.
Amazing. Just to kickstart the program, you're looking smart.
Thank you.
And amazing. We thank God for that. You're smiling, you're looking young every other day.
Thank you. I'm
Wow.
young, yes. Thank you.
Yeah, wow, that is great. Yeah, you've heard from her. We are kicking the ball rolling right away. I know most of you are expectant, and we are taking it right away. Mama Rachel, how has it been for the past few days, few months, and almost a year and a half when COVID came into the country and locked down here and there? How did you react to that, or how did it basically affect your day-to-day life and activities?
So, many people have been affected by the COVID pandemic, and it's not only in Uganda, it's all over the globe. We find that across the nations, people have lost jobs, people are depressed, families are struggling. However, what I have learned along the way, despite the lockdowns, despite everything that we see, is that there's an opportunity to grow.
Okay.
There's an opportunity to change our mind. There's an opportunity to diversify businesses. There's an opportunity such as this that people are now ministering online. There's a new thing for us to learn. And what, like the Bible says, when the enemy comes like a flood, the Lord lifts a standard. So the COVID pandemic came like a flood.
Oh yes.
But the Lord has lifted the standard in different ways. And yesterday I was listening to a program on Faith TV, and they're talking about faith and believing. And you know the story of Jairus in the Bible, whose daughter died. And while he was rushing to tell Jesus that my daughter is very sick, there was a woman, Jesus was still attending to a woman with an issue of blood. After he completed healing this woman, before he could turn to attend to Jairus, they told him, no, don't bother the master, your daughter has died. And sometimes that feels like the COVID pandemic. Don't bother the master, your job is gone. Don't bother the master, your family is
down.
Exactly. But Jairus, Jesus told Jairus, simply believe. Do not be afraid.
Yes.
Only believe. So I want to speak to many of us who are listening. It does not matter what the situation looks like to us. Do not be afraid. Simply believe, and your miracle will come to pass.
Amazing, amazing. Simply believe, everything shall be well. Amidst the COVID pandemic, do not be anxious about third wave, about what's going to happen. Simply believe, everything shall be well. What's one of the greatest lessons that you learned during this COVID pandemic?
The greatest lesson that I have learned, and I am still learning, is trusting God.
Okay.
We talk about trusting God every day, we read it in the Bible, but putting it into practice.
Mm.
To say that, God, I will not take a move until you speak to me.
Yes.
God, I will not make this decision until you give me direction.
Mm.
Trusting God is more than talking about Him. Trusting God is actually, truly believing it.
Yes.
It's like when you go to sit on a chair, you don't check around the chair to see if the chair has all the stands. You just sit.
Mm.
That's
You
what
have
trust.
that trust.
You
that
just have that
chair
trust that
is
this
well
chair will
placed.
hold me.
Mm.
You sit, you don't even think, will I fall down, you know.
Yes.
That's what it means to trust God with your life.
Mm.
That no matter what situation you're in,
Yes.
be it a situation, a financial challenge, be it a relationship challenge, be it a marriage challenge, that you can say, God, you created me, you are my Father, I am going to trust.
Mm.
That the plans that you have are to prosper me and not to harm me.
Exactly.
So for me, the greatest lesson that I have learned is trust.
Trust in the
And
Lord.
trusting comes with discipline and obedience.
Mm.
To say that, God, okay, here I am. If you
Yes.
don't speak, I will not move.
Yes.
If you don't lead me, I will not do this.
Mm.
If you don't direct me, I will not do. You put God to, you give God a challenge
Yes.
to constantly speak,
Mm.
constantly direct. And I think it's one of the hardest things. If you practice it, it's one of the hardest things you can. But if you accomplish it, you find that it takes you great miles.
Wow, amazing. Greatest lesson learned during the COVID pandemic and still learning is trust in the Lord. Yeah, it's quite true, because when the COVID came, it literally put the world on a standstill.
Yes,
If you had trust in your business, somehow it was affected.
that's true.
As a man of God, if you had trust in your congregation,
Yes.
this time round you couldn't get to the congregation. Quite everything was really affected so much, and it can only be wise and good to trust in God.
Amen.
So much inspired and amazing. Mama Rachel, we want to take a back step. We want to understand, who is Rachel? I mean, who is Rachel? Where does Rachel come from? How has she come all this journey up to this time?
My journey is very long,
Yes.
as the journey of each one of us.
Mm.
We face different stages in life, but I am a very simple person.
Mm.
I'm Rachel. I live a very simple life.
Okay.
I studied communication eventually at the university, and I like young people.
Okay.
I really have a passion for young